I'm called Lucatiel.
Good day everyone, it's your favorite playthrough with another Cosplay run where we see if Lucatiel of Mira can become the best swordsman in the lands between. Before we begin, I want to give a big thank you for the last video. That was my first ever edited video, and its popularity took me by surprise. Also, I want to apologize for not posting a lot. I've been busy working on a game in Unity and I may have had a slight existential crisis. Without further ado, let us begin. Using character creation channel's Lucatiel sliders, we create our very own Lucatiel at home. Link in the description. We start off the run normally, get yelled at by a scion, get a blade that is wet, don't touch, is sharp, get a noble steed, fail at grave robbing, and get spinning slash from Bernie. My weapon for this run is the Knight's Greatsword, as it's the most similar to the Mirror Greatsword from Dark Souls 2. This Knight of the Lakes, which also happens to drop a very important item for incantation drawers, also drops the sword. In the Lakes we can also get the Carrying Knight set, as the chest piece looks like the mirror vest, which I didn't get as I don't plan these runs out, and my ADH brain easily gets so spinny. Oh yeah, half the deck just left medallion. Too bad I never used it. For Lucatiel's signature mask hat mask? I went with the Aristocrat hat, which I found from the Wandering Aristocrats for 20 minutes. Try saying Aristocrat hat 20 times really fast. Anyway, I spent way too long farming before I realized that there's a grace in the Waypoint Ruins. This will come up again. The final bit of preparation before I face Margaret Thatcher sees me grabbing a new sippy cup, some tears for my old sippy cup, and tears for my new sippy cup. There are a lot of sippy cups in this game. I went into Margaret's fight without upgrading my weapon, because I had half a mind to see how far I could go purely on skill. I dropped this because I have no skill, and it wasn't very fun. It just drew out the fight into a test of endurance. Margaret fell to my +0 sword because I played this game too many times. At least someone will remember my name. I run through the castle, perfectly navigating the danger path, make a leap of faith, grab the clock talisman, and talk to a noble warrior on a quest to purge the lands of foul deeds. I sure hope nothing bad happens to her. Speaking of purging the lands of foul deeds, by this point I still haven't upgraded my sword, as this was the fight that really cemented the idea that relying purely on skill just turned fights into tests of endurance. The fight took a total of 5 minutes, which is longer than Godric deserves. Also, dude, where's my crit? I swear, this game. In the Lakes, I do some shopping that totally could have been done earlier, but I didn't think about it at the time. Did I mention I don't plan these runs out? The shopping list included a sword with wings, honorably dueling a man for a necklace for a damsel in distress, slaying a dragon. Wait a minute, am I Shrek? Finally grabbing my armor, and getting my gloves. While getting my gloves, I find Nepheli mourning needless death and destruction. Just kidding, I came here way later. God, this video is hard to edit. I sure hope this doesn't lead to an existential crisis, but I have just the thing to help her out. Rightful vengeance against the press. She really needed that.
We'll have your wish, so please grant me forgiveness, Queen America.
Back at the hold, we see Nepheli is having an existential crisis. Who could have seen that one coming? Talking to her dad, we find out that he disowned her when she confronted him about the senseless slaughter. Talk about Father of the Year material. I have just the perfect gift. Ash. Ladies love Ash.
No thanks.
There, that's better. Back on the main quest that I did earlier, we debate a dog on the validity of spells. They lost. Wingrim misses a parry. Do they ever miss? We walk through fire, and have my lock-on broken because a dragon spawned next to me. Don't you hate it when that happens? Let's go kill another storied warrior that's having parent issues. To skip Radon's arrow phase, I use a super secret technique that's been passed down in the lands of Mir for generations. Run behind cover when you're getting shot at. I must have been pretty lucky as I somehow managed to no-hit Radon's first phase, and get in a crucial stance break before Radon's scariest move, the aptly named Spiraling Death. Now that Radon's down, there are a few things I need to clear up before we leave Alberta's tar sands. Unfortunately, I experienced an introvert's worst nightmare, getting asked a question by 3 people. One is bad enough on its own, especially when they have something that I need, a broken needle. I swear, this game is based off of 90s point-and-click adventure games. After getting the needle repaired, we are then asked to give it to Millicent so she can stick it into herself. Oh god, where does she stick it? It's the eye. It's definitely the eye. Now that Millicent is on the mend, we can call on her aide to face off against a former man. He was very rude, pushed me into his own vomit, and launched me backwards from a hit that occurred behind me. You know, I'm starting to think that this game doesn't check where the damage comes from when determining what direction it thinks that you should be throwing. After the fight, we find Millicent ruminating on how she could help us if she had her right arm. We can finally find an arm in a castle just down the road, and give her the arm. We call on her to give us to help us fight a stretchy boy, witnessing her full power. You know, I never understood why I needed to talk to Millicent at the Windmill Village. I know this is one of the 2 spots where you can see the Halleck Tree, the ultimate destination for Millicent, but it just feels like the game thinks it's saying, Kevin Bacon, is enough evidence for you to conclude that Ron Perlman is Hellboy. It seems to be a bit of a stretch. Which is something I forgot to do before fighting the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Just look at how I'm getting hit by the easiest to dodge attacks. Disgraceful. Now that the capital is opened up, I decided to pursue some assassination contracts, as one of the things I wanted to get was Juno's chest. Peace. To do this, I needed to challenge Istvan and Riley to honorable duels. They go well. I wish I could say the same thing with Goldfree. This is the arc where I started an all-hit tradition. I still beat him on the first try, but I got hit by nearly every attack. In preparation for Margaret Thatcher version 2.0, I decided to do some shopping for more smithing stones, and a Prougham plate to tell the most beautiful person that they're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
I continue the all-hit tradition with Morgoth, but there's a super secret reason as to why I'm blocking every hit with my face. I'm slowly making him feel comfortable, and he'll drop his guard. Bam! Sword gap. It's totally not because I'm fluffing my dodges or anything. Just look at this well-timed stance break leading to a final dance. Do you think someone who is fluffing their dodges would be able to pull off something like this? It was all part of the plan. After the fight, we check in with Nefeli and see she has moved up in the world. Good for her. On my way to Juno, I challenged the local Blackblade kindred with Millicent. It's weird that you can summon her here, but not at Castle Sol. Like most of you, I don't fight these that often. Like the Valiant Gargoyles, it still likes to jump around, and its twin blade whirlwind attack almost got me. But at least it doesn't spew instant damaging poison on the floor that you can barely see. One last check-in with Millicent, then we challenge Juno. He gets me the first time. That Bloodhound step and dual whiff combo was quite the handful. The next time, I get lucky. I find it interesting how I'll hit him, and he won't even take any damage. I compared the two, and concluded that Lucatiel's chest is better. With the final contract, I am now given access to Rykard. I gave him 2 solid attempts, and stopped because it wasn't an interesting fight. Can I beat him? Yeah, of course. But this is what the fight looks like. Yeah, let's go do something more fun. I jump into the sewers, kill some slugs, and die to an omen that was hiding behind an even larger omen. Thanks, game. Next time, I just crouch down and sneak on past. It turns out they use epic NPC man logic. I then navigate the maze perfectly, and never get lost. No, you can't see the footage. The reward for my perfect navigation? A fight with the phantom of a pedophile. The fight didn't go so well, with me getting hit by his bodily fluids. And I carry on to suck, by jumping onto an early grave. Great run so far. I then beeline into Elden Ring's underground unique transportation system. Coffins. Coffins make for great transportation, and saying that trans rights are human rights. I enter Noxtella, and do some light genocide, and coat myself in a marinade for a giant space shrimp. The marinade proves useful in ensuring I get hit at least once. In retaliation, I stab it in its skull eye, and it causes it to get so confused that it teleports to the same spot. Twice. I see that the way ahead was shut by those that are dead, which reminds me I need to talk to a certain doll. To complete Ranni and Fia's quest, we run through the manor as nothing interesting happens, get a finger, and give it to Ranni, and she gives me a statue. I should have seen that one coming. Flip a tower, kill Miriam, go down to go up some more, and get a centipede. We challenge Fia's sense, saw him lying, meaning I'm challenging player avatars, and buy Gwen. Level your vigor. Like you, Inisaki cosplayer. You died in 2 hits. 2. To unlock 46's boss fight, we need to hug a woman for longer than we have collectively hugged another woman. The fight wasn't anything special, only being slightly better than the ancient dragon fight, but we got some tail out of it. Two times I whittled the boss's health bar to a sliver, and both times I died to him vomiting chunks. A lot of vomiting in this game. This is what most of Phase 2 is like. Such a riveting boss fight. The only highlight of the fight was that he died rolling over my sword. I still hate this boss. After the fire giant, I sacrificed Melina to burn the world, easily run through Farum, except this one knight decided to challenge me to a duel. It didn't go well for them. Now it's time for everyone's favorite boss. The first fight with the Godskins didn't go so well. I got caught in a tornado and hit by a ball in the face. The second attempt, I fight way smarter, like with fighting Ornstein and Smack. While fighting the two, we simply kite one of them around the pillar and give them a single hit. It's such a riveting fighting technique. Once it's a 1v1, the fight becomes a proper fight. The stretchy boy dies within 30 seconds. Now for the end game. We perfectly hit the 2-log swag jump, and the bird run is completely hitless. All that for the other disappointing Remembrance Dragon fight. The first attempt, I died to Plasty colliding into me. It turns out that getting hit by a dragon the size of an average building hurts a lot. The next attempt, I found out that he's a fan of NASCAR, as I get hit by methanol fire, and get caught in their wing. Help me, step Elden Lord, I'm stuck. But don't worry, we finished them by getting some They're still alive? There's no health left in that bar. This will come up again. Before I fight Malekith, I quickly deal with the second Draconic Tree Sentinel. It's weird that there's one here, and before the capital. But with Malekith, I didn't remember much from my Tarkus run. On the third attempt, I was getting pretty flustered, so I quit out. Remember, this is just a game. If you're getting flustered, take a break. You'll come back refreshed and break some kneecaps. Specifically Malekith's in my case. The poor dude barely had any time to stand up before he died. Ugh, my head. What happened? Darn it, Bob. I told you to turn off the oven.
I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord.
Gideon lives up to his name as being the all-spamming. First death is because my jump went past him, and he did a 180 no-scope. Not even mad. Next time, he just spams Comet. Oof. During the third attempt, I found out that Gideon can either run out of magic or accidentally cast an incantation with the staff. And he can also charge spells. Huh. I did not know that. For Godfrey, I summoned Nepheli for the fight, but I kinda wish I didn't. I played so poorly in front of her, it was so embarrassing. But he knocked me out of my jump attack while he was focusing on Nepheli. Such a Chad move. Phase 2 starts with some nice father-daughter bonding. I use the second father-daughter bonding session to get in the last few hits. That just leaves the first attempt didn't go so great. That gap closer of his travels further and faster than you think it will. The next few attempts. To help in the fight, I kill a few avatars for the Green Burst tier and Alkaline Heart tier, as well as by impaling thrust from Bernie. With all these new toys, we start off by getting hammered. Yeah, I still need to get good. 7th attempt, and Radagon is not respecting the Sippy break. Ooh, that's not fair. Remember, if you don't respect the Sippy break, you're a bad person. But we somehow make it to phase 2, and see Radagon turn into a pretty cool sword. I wish I was a pretty cool sword. The Elden Beast starts as it always does, trying to spread his breath all over the place. Don't you know that's not very cash money of you? I somehow managed to dodge a Swords Blade with a mistimed dodge. As punishment, Beast tries to squish me. But silly Mr. Beast, you're a gelatinous mask. You can't squish me. Now that the game is beat, it's time to try our hand at the best swordsman in the land.
Heed my words. I am Melania.
In preparation for the fight against the best swordsman in the land, I grabbed the Dragongrest Great Shield, challenged Millicent's sisters to an armable 2v4 duel for a winged sword that I don't use, and get crabs. The first attempt goes surprisingly well, with me only falling because he did the ducky dance right next to me, and I haven't learned how to dodge it yet. Next attempt, I continue the all-hit tradition, and somehow get to phase 2, and die to episode 2. Oh boy, that certainly was a Star Wars movie. And to the ducky dance. This time, I was caught on the invisible pillar that's holding Melania up when she's striking her pose. Next attempt, I die not to the phase 2 ducky dance, even though I got caught on the very same pillar from last time. I died to the rod. And again, I died to the ducky dance. But now, I'm pretty frustrated, and look up on how to dodge the ducky dance up close. Ah, I see. I had Cupid's Cupid Shuffle song lyric to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left stuck in my head. I should have had the Cupid Shuffle by Cupid to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right stuck in my head. With the song stuck in my head, I die almost immediately. But don't worry, the next attempt I have her. In phase 2, I hit her with 3 impaling thrusts in short succession. Each thrust deals massive stance damage. Obviously I'm going to get a nice critical. Dude, where's my stance break? Oh right, I broke her stance in the middle of one of her hyper armor moves, which means it just reset. Talk about hard but fair design. But it's okay, I got her. I have no flasks, but she has a sliver of health. Stupid sexy ducky dance. Okay, one more attempt before bed. Open up with a nice stance break and critical. A second critical. Almost at phase 2, walk off. Stylish phase 1 closer. Eat a crab. Hey, I'm a nervous eater. Actually get a stance break at the start of phase 2. with a second onion and was down to her last third. Maybe this is that hint. It had a bunch, but she goes for a third onion, and she only has 15% of her health. This is the Tim. How? I can't even see the red of the bar. Risky poke.
Your strength. Extraordinary.
I did it!
The mark of a true lord.
Ooh, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go after a pedophile. Fight Eleanor for a tier, and a penguin for a portal. Oh, this game is weird. Follow the Cupid Shuffle's lyric and stick to the right to avoid the fighting skeletons, and get to Moog. It's like midnight when I recorded this, so I'll only give this one attempt. So if Tai Chi Gren doesn't go well, I'll come back tomorrow. Okay, fight's going right so far. He's so much easier than his cousin. It's not even hitting that hard, which is weird given the absolute size of his weapon. Moog reenacts the opening scene from Blade really early, even with targets the rain was called on later. Oh, now there's one. All because it's on fire as well. I'm glad we both missed a massive thrust. Oh, his wings are a hitbox. That's nice. Get a nice critical and... oh, it's over. It's so weird going from boss that'll kick your butt for several attempts to first trying another boss. Well, that does it for this video. Lucatiel can, in fact, become Elden Lord and best of best in the lands between. It turns out that great swords are great. The mildly high health and stance damage, combined with the relatively fast move speed, make them a deadly combo. Thanks again for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, be sure to like the video and subscribe to be kept in the loop. As always, I'm rooting for you. We're all in this together. Another successful run. No reason to keep you around.
My name is Lucatiel. I beg of you remember my name, for I may not myself.